We're back. Welcome back to the Cowboys Fan Show. This is segment 3 where we like to take your questions from social media using the hashtag CowboysFS. That's CowboysFS for Cowboys Fan Show. Simple enough, right?
Absolutely. Get on there.
So this first question, Scott, comes to us out from Brian out in Durango. He wants to know, have you changed your mind about Tony Romo taking over the starting job when healthy?
I got to be honest with you, Tyler. Like, even talking about this makes me feel like I'm cheating on Romo. Okay? I love the guy. He's a warrior. And we were talking about that earlier. He's Favre-esque in the way that he just takes those hits. He's a gunslinger. And you got to love that. I mean, man played ball with broken ribs and a punctured lung and went out there and played his heart out. And I can't help root for a guy like that. And you hate to hear about end of the career or end of the line for anybody, especially a guy like Romo. And you know me, I love Romo.
Right.
I really do. I'm a huge fan. And I remember the days of Anthony Wright and Quincy Carter, and I've been loving having Romo ever since. But to be honest with you, the chemistry of this team is there are two rookies, Zeke and Dak Prescott, that are just leading the way right now, and they have everybody playing better on this team right now. I'm not sure that you rush him back. Do I say that you named Dak the starting quarterback of this Cowboys team? No. But you don't really have to when you're dealing with a back injury. You know, you can prolong Romo's absence. You can do whatever you have to do. And that's how I'm going to answer that question. If I was the general manager or head coach of this team right now, I would prolong Romo's absence and I'd let Dak continue to learn and see where it goes. I mean, who knows? Maybe it gets, you know, a little further down the field, down the line or whatever, and he starts playing a little less accurate than he is now, or anything happens. You know, I mean, I can't even imagine. I'm fumbling for words because I can't imagine Dak not playing well, to be honest with you.
Right.
But there's no real good answer to that question. I just don't think at this point you rush Romo back.
Right. My personal take is, if it's not broken, don't fix it. Dak Prescott is just on fire. He's so poised. He's very efficient with the ball. And like we said in the opening segment, 0 interceptions. That is the biggest number of them all. The chemistry is just off the charts. The ball distribution, he's getting everybody involved. Terrence Williams had 5 catches. Absolutely. Cole Beasley's tearing it up. Even Bryce Butler had a touchdown that was called back,
right,
which should have been in.
But 2 weeks in a row, yes.
2 weeks in a row. Bryce Butler's found the end zone. I think Dak Prescott is the future of the Dallas Cowboys. And here's a little nugget for you. When Romo took over the starting job from Drew Bledsoe and Bledsoe got hurt in 2006, in Romo's first 5 starts, he was 4-1. He posted an 85 quarterback rating. Dak Prescott this year in his first 5 starts, 4-1. 86.6 quarterback rating. Granted, it's a little bit of a different game than it was back in 2006. You know, passing's come a little bit more along, we'll say.
How many rushing touchdowns did Romo have in those games, right?
You know, that's big. Romo, he's mobile, but he's not, you know, an athlete like Dak Prescott is.
Spin move.
Dak Prescott, I think, is the real deal. And like I said, if it's not broken, don't fix it. These Cowboys are hitting on all cylinders. Zeke has had over 130 yards each of the last 3 weeks. Dak Prescott's getting a little bit more poised in the pocket. You know, he's not putting up the 300-400-yard games like we see from Drew Brees and those kind of guys, but he's doing what he needs to do, and he's winning ball games.
Yeah,
that's my biggest thing.
Doing what the coaches are asking him to do.
Right.
And my biggest thing about having Romo come back is, and I've been saying this whole time, is I think he's going to help us run the ball better, because you can't load the box on a guy like Tony Romo, especially when Dez Bryant's on the outside. However, I mean, with the read option in play now with Dak Prescott, I mean, you saw that touchdown run. He had a lot to do with helping with the running game on that specific play.
It adds another wrinkle to the offense.
Sure does.
You know, you have to prepare for the read option. Dak Prescott is no slouch running the ball. If you watched him at Mississippi State in college, you would have seen that. This guy was the real deal. So we'll move on now. Our second question coming to us out there from Homer in Springfield. He wants to know, is Zeke in the conversation for NFL MVP?
NFL MVP, that's a tough one because there's a lot of ball to play. Hands down Rookie of the Year?
That's a lock. I think it's a lock.
I believe so because, I mean, barring injury right now, I think he's a lock to get the rushing title.
Right.
And any rookie that runs out there his first year and he takes home the rushing title, You got to give him Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
Now, MVP, I'm not sure. I mean, you could even make an argument that he's not necessarily the MVP of this particular team right now with the way that Dak is playing.
Right. I was going to go this route. I would say Dak for Rookie of the Year, and Zeke for MVP. Cowboys could pull off a clean sweep in this one. I don't see why not. The way that both of these guys are playing, should Dak Prescott remain as the starting quarterback and play as well as he has in the first 5 weeks, I wouldn't think that's a stretch to give Dak the Rookie of the Year and Zeke the MVP. And when you narrow it down right now through the first 5 weeks, we haven't really seen, anybody really jump out like Zeke Elliott and Dak Prescott have this year.
No, not necessarily.
Julio's had one big game, he had 300 yards. Matt Ryan is up there. Matt Ryan is having himself a career year. This is the Matt Ryan that everyone was waiting on, for the past 4 years or so. But I honestly think Zeke Elliott really has a legitimate shot at winning Most Valuable Player this year.
Yeah, well, like I said, there's a lot of ball you played, but I mean, quarter way through the season, who else do you go with? AJ Green there was a lot of talk about him. He's league's leading receiver up until this week, and he came into our house and he got shut down by Mo. Yeah,
Jerry World. They used to say that it was an away game for the Cowboys, but now with Dak Prescott at the helm, Cowboys, they should be 3-0 at home, but Terrence Williams doesn't like to go out of bounds. We'll forget about that for now. Moving on to our third question. This one coming to us from Peter in Quahog. He wants to know, will Dez be the same when he returns from injury?
That's hard to say. Dez has been injured before, and he's come back well, and especially with the foot injury like he came back last time. It's hard to pivot off that foot. And he came back and he looked really good. Now, this being a hairline fracture, yeah, I think he's going to be just fine. I mean, if it was like a crazy break or a torn ACL or something like that, I don't think so. He's missing some playing time, but everybody knows how Dez practices, so he's not going to come back rusty. He's a professional at this point, this late in his career, I mean, so to speak, I guess. He's a veteran. He knows how to get it done. He's practiced and played, and I think, barring any major setback, ACL, full break, anything hamstring, anything like that. I think he's going to come back 100%. I don't think that a hairline fracture and a guy like Dez's knee is going to change anything in his game.
Right, and I don't even think that he necessarily has to come back, and be exactly what he was, because we've seen it now. These receivers are stepping up. Terrence Williams, Cole Beasley, even Bryce Butler, they're all having really good days. Lucky Whitehead, we saw him on an end-around rush there early on in the game, caught the Bengals off guard. But I think once you get Dez on that field, that's going to force the defense to double cover him. Whether he's the Dez Bryant that's 100% or if he's at 80%, just having his presence on the field, he's a huge diversion. And I think that's going to help tremendously for the Cowboys.
It's going to make everybody else better.
Yeah, then you're going to see, we've talked about it the last few weeks where the defenses are stacking the box. Well, now Dak is getting a little bit more comfortable passing. He's a lot more poised in the pocket. And now we're starting to see Zeke rip those huge gains, that 61-yard run that he had against the Bengals. But like I said, I don't think Dez necessarily has to be exactly what he was, but just his presence will help the Cowboys. So now on to our last question. This is the one that I want to know, Scott. Is Cole Beasley the best slot receiver in the NFL right now?
Who's better?
Yeah.
Tough thing about that one is Julian Edelman is a heck of a slot receiver. And he's only had one game back with Tom Brady, who was clearly just tied into heavy all this week and whatnot. But I think, to this point in the season, absolutely, because nobody else is producing like he is. Give us another 4 games with Brady to Edelman and see what they do. But right now, Cole Beasley, over the first 5 games of the season, is the best slot receiver in the NFL.
I seriously don't think there's any question about it. When Romo is in, it's always Romo to Witten the security blanket. We've been seeing Dak Prescott to Cole Beasley. That is one of the best relationships I've seen this season being formed. And Cole, he's a little shifty guy, kind of like Snead out there in New Orleans. But Cole Beasley just gets it done. He's tough as nails. We saw him get absolutely destroyed against the Bears. Stayed in the game, went on to tear it back up. He just killed it all game long. I would say between Cole Beasley and Julian Edelman, you can't really disregard Julian Edelman. But I think it's up there for those two. But as of right now,
Edelman hasn't done anything this
Yeah.
season. Absolutely, which does make Cole Beasley, in my opinion, the best in the NFL up to this point. He's getting himself open, and then the yards after the catch.
Yes.
Beasley's getting it done.
And Beasley's fast. You know, he gets there, he finds little creases, he's real shifty, he makes guys miss, and he gets the first downs. It's huge. It's really huge. So don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We will be right back to have a look around the NFC East. You're watching the Cowboys Fan Show.
Let's go!